students, welcome to my live teaching learning session of BPAG 174 Sustainable Development. Today we will discuss about Block 3, Unit 9 and 10 will be covered in this topic, role of green technology in health, sanitation and food security. It means in this Unit 9, the main topic is what is the meaning of green technology and how green technology helps in the achievement of this target like health, sanitation and food security, and why we need green technology to attain sustainable development. And Unit 10, in this unit, the topic is role of education in sustainable development. So today we will cover both topics, Unit 9 topic and Unit 10. And Unit 9 and 10 is related with Block 3. So first of all, what are the benefits of green technology? First of all, you must have to know about what is the meaning of green technology, what are the main goals of green technology, why we need green technology, and how green technology helps in the achievement of sustainable development. You know that sustainable development is a long-term process in which present generation needs as well as future generation needs both can be satisfied, then we can say that economy is achieving sustainable development. Economic growth, economic development and sustainable development, all these three concepts of development are different from one another. Economic growth is related with developed nations. Economic development is related with developing countries. And sustainable development is related with whole world. Because sustainable development is that type of development in which whole country people can get good atmosphere, good environment, good ecosystem so that they can live longer life, life expectancy will increase and all the generations, either it may be present generation or future generation, both will get benefit. So benefits of green technology is in abundant quantity. So in this session, we will discuss about green technology and the role of green technology in the achievement of health, sanitation, and food security, and what is the role of education in the achievement of sustainable development. So, what is the meaning of green technology? You know that green technology, it is clear by its name. It's a technology which create greenery everywhere. So this type of technology is known as environmentally friendly technology. Green technology is that technology which is environment friendly technique. Next is it conserves natural resources without any wastages, without any overexploitation of natural resources or non-renewable resources. It conserves natural resources. If natural resources will be conserved, then all generation can use these limited available natural resources. Next is runs the gamut from generating power to non-toxic cleaning products. Green technology is that technology which will not create any hazards or toxic products. It will generate power to non-toxic cleaning products. Green technology is that technology which utilizes the energy provided by renewable energy sources. It generally uses that type of source of energy which can be regenerate or renewable. It decreases the use of non-renewable resources because non-renewable resources are non-regenerating resources. And these resources, if we want to make these resources, it will take thousands and billions of years. So these are known as fossil fuel, but the population will not live so many years longer life. That's why these non-renewable resources can't be regenerated for future generation because it takes in generation very long time period. And next is green technology is more innovative and sustainable. That is more innovative and sustainable. It means it protects our environment in which we all are living. And if environment is protected, environment is safe, oxygen is taken by all human beings, then people can survive for the longer time period. Life expectancy will increase, and not only environment, sustainable development goals are 17, in which zero hunger, reduction in poverty, equitable distribution of income and wealth, standard increase in standard of living, increase in life expectancy, and fresh water, fresh air, sanitation, all these are the goals of sustainable development. And green technology helps in the achievement of these SDG, Sustainable Development Goals. Next is green technology are the application, part of different branches of science, which try to conserve the natural resources and minimize the adverse impact of human activity on environment. Because at present we know that population is increasing in whole world. So as well as population increases, natural resources are overutilized or overexploited. And if natural resources are overexploited, then resources depletion, deforestation, environmental degradation, these problems will occur. And if these problems will occur, it will definitely hamper or adversely impact on environment. So green technologies have emerged as one of the significant means for achieving sustainability. Green technology enables to achieve sustainable development through ensuring sustainability. And we can use green technology in each and every sector, either it may be primary sector or agriculture sector and secondary sector or manufacturing sector or industrial sector, and in tertiary sector like in services like banking, insurance, communication, transportation, etc. Green technology can be used in each and every sector of the economy. And if green technology applies in different sectors of the economy, then we can enable to achieve sustainable development. Next is green technology uses renewable natural resources that never deplete and apply innovative energy generation techniques. Generally, in case of when we use this green technology, in this technology, we generally use renewable natural resources, which can be regenerate, which can be remake, and never deplete, never destroyed, never finished, and apply innovative energy generation techniques so that power and energy can generate forever. And converging technologies are enabling technologies and scientific knowledge system that enable each other for the achievement of a common goal. You know that environmental protection is a common goal. It's a globally common thing which can be achieved by all. So, converging technologies, enabling technologies and scientific knowledge system that enables each other for the achievement of a common goal. The development and deployment of green technology is a viable method for sustainable development. So green technology is very necessary in today's scenario, in contemporary world. At present, we must have to use green technology in each and every sector for the attainment of sustainable development. Next is, what is green technology? We can define this green technology in this particular definition, that it's a technology which is environmentally friendly, developed and used in such a way so that it does not disturb our environment and conserves natural resources. Generally, green technology helps in the conservation of non-renewable resources, which can't be regenerate, which can't be remake. So it's a technology which is called environment friendly technology, and it uses mainly renewable natural resources, and it innovates new source of energy so that environment can be protected. And if environment is protected, then we can live for longer time period, and all human beings and all living items, living things or biotic components can survive for longer time period. So it is also known as environmental technology and clean technology. Technology is a very necessary thing for the production of goods and services. Each and every economy wants to achieve higher growth rate of economy. That's why they are producing more and more output so that their GDP will rise. GDP is gross domestic product. They are using that type of technology which are harming the environment. And if environment harming technology will be used by each and every country for gaining higher economic growth, it will deplete and it will decrease the environmental security or environmental condition. And environment which protect the life of all human beings, all living organisms. We should use green technology for security of the environment, for safety of the environment. So green technology is environment friendly technology. Next is, what are the main goals of green technology? Green technology main goals are, first of all, we should reduce the waste material of the economy. The waste product should be reduced, and we should use all the waste material in a recycling way so that waste can be reproduced or remake, and it will be useful for other generation or future generation. So first of all, waste should be reduced and waste should be recycled, and we should refuse to use those technologies which are affecting badly or adversely to the environment. We should not use hazardous chemical fertilizers for the production of crops. We should use that type of technologies which are environment friendly technologies. So refuse means we should refuse to use environment which adversely impact the environment. That type of technology we should not use. And we should use natural resources, those resources which can be renewable or which can be regenerated. And responsibility, it's the responsibility of all of us, all living organism, all human beings in whole world. All people should take this responsibility that waste should be less, waste should be recycled, and refuse uh, bad technology or that type of technology which are harming the environment and which are degrading the environment condition, and should use renewable resources which can be regenerate and which can be remake. So these are the main goals of green technology. Green technology has 5 goals. One is reduce, second is recycle, third is refuse, fourth is renew or renewable resources should be used, and green technology always use those resources which can be regenerated. And it's a responsibility of all of us, so we should protect our environment. Otherwise, if we rapidly use all the available natural resources, either it may be renewable or non-renewable, and if we use rapid rate all these resources, it will create environmental degradation problem, and it will adversely impact to all human beings of the whole world. Next is sustainable cities. How we can make sustainable cities in whole world. Sustainable cities, if we want to achieve this target, then we should first of all do social development. In sustainable cities, 4 things are included in this. One is social development. Second is economic development. Third is environmental management. And fourth is urban governance. So in first, for the achievement of the sustainable cities, first main process is social development. We should do for the achievement of social development. How we can increase the standard of living of the country people? We should increase, or government should focus on more educational and health facilities. More and more educational and medical facilities should be provided to the country people. Then society will be developed and it will make social development. Second is food and nutrition. Zero hunger target will be achieved when food security is available in each and every country. When this goal is achieved, then food and nutrition means each and every person should be provided food with nutritional or minerals or proteins and vitamins so that their health will be good. Third is green housing and buildings. We should use those type of material which make greenhouses and building material which will not hamper or adversely impact the environment. Fourth is fresh water should be available to all, and sanitation facility should also be available to all. Next is green public transportation. Transportation facilities should also be green, which are not creating environmental degradation. We should use green technology in public transport. For example, electric trains, electric buses are not degrading the environment. But fossil fuel like diesel, petrol, if we use these type of fuel for running this transportation, then definitely environment will be degraded. So green public transportation provide us good environment, and it will save our environment from pollution. Green energy access, we should use that type of energy which is green energy, which create environmental protection. And recreation areas and community support. We should use recreating or renewable resources in large quantity for making social development, for doing social development. So social development will this target will be achieved when education and health, food and nutrition, green housing and building material will be used for making houses, water and sanitation facility is available, green public transportation will be available, green energy access will be available, and recreation areas and community support will also very necessary for achievement of this social development. Next is economic development. How economy can develop with the help of this green technology? We should use green productive methods for the production of goods and services, and we should avoid to use bad technologies and that type of technology which are creating more pollution in the environment. And creation of decent employment opportunities. If economy will provide decent employment opportunities to the country people, then poverty ratio will decrease. And if poverty will reduce, then zero hunger target will definitely be achieved. Because if all country people have money income, they can afford food, then they can buy food and they can survive themselves and they can live longer life. Production and distribution of renewable energy. We should produce and distribute renewable energy sources and avoid to use more non-renewable resources. Next is government should spend more money on research and development and technological development and innovation. This type of development and research are very necessary for the achievement of sustainable development. Next is environmental management. Environmental management can be done with the help of these methods, these things like forest and soil management. Forest and soil, if good in a good way it is managed, then environmental protection will be done. Next is waste and recycling management. Waste material should be managed in an effective way and it should be recycled. It should be used in another way for a future generation need. Next is energy efficiency. Environmental management can be possible if we use renewable energy sources in an efficient way. Next is water management. Water should be managed. Then we can get fresh drinking water. And most of the diseases spread through polluting water and dirty water. So, water should be managed. Air quality should be conserved. Air quality, if air quality will be conserved, then all living organism will get more oxygen. Next is adaptation to and mitigation of climate change. We know that at present climate is changing and pollution is increasing due to increase in population and due to increase in hazardous chemical, due to increase in chemical fertilizers for increasing the bumper production of crops in agriculture sector. That type of technology is using by farmers, which is creating more pollution and which is dangerous for all living organism. It will adversely impact to the environment. So green technology will help us to save or secure the environment. So we should adopt that type of technology which can secure us from this climate change and from global warming and avoid greenhouses gases which increase greenhouses gases. That technique we should not use. Next is urban governance. Urban governance is also very necessary for the achievement of sustainable cities goal. And how urban areas can be governed. We know that each and every country has divided into two areas. One is urban area and other is rural area. In some countries, most of the country people are living in urban areas. Mostly developed nations. In developed countries, most of the country people are living in urban areas and less proportion of population is living in rural areas. But in most of the developing countries and in backward countries, most of the country people are living in rural areas and the ratio of urban areas population is very less. In India, at present, near about 70% population are living in rural areas and 30% population are living in urban areas. And more than half of the country people are still engaged in agricultural activities in India. So urban area should be good governed. And how urban areas governance may be good if it is in a well planned way. Planning and decentralization is necessary for urban good governance. Reduction of inequalities of income and wealth among country people, strengthening of civil and political rights of the country people, and support of local, national, regional, and global links. We should support all these links, either it may be local, national, global, regional, etc. So urban governance in this planning and decentralization, reduction of inequalities of income and wealth, strengthening of civil and political rights, and support of local, national, regional, and global links are included. So these are the pillars for the achievement of sustainable cities. So if we want to achieve these sustainable cities, then we should focus on these four pillars. One is social development, second is economic development, third is environmental management, and fourth is urban governance. Next is why we need green technology. In this, we will discuss about why at present it's a great need to use this green technology. Here, the proportion of resources and population is going to unbalanced. Resources are less, but population is more. When resources supply is less and the demand of the population is increasing, then there is a trade-off between population and resources. Here is a scarcity of resources and abundant population at present. 9 billion. At present, population in the whole world is 8 billion. But it may be predicted that population will increase by 9 billion by with time period 2050. It means 1 billion population will increase in 30 years and strains our finite resources. Resources are in limited quantity. Resources are scarce. Resources are in a very less quantity, but wants are unlimited. As well as population increases, the availability of resources are going to decrease. So there is a great trade-off between population and resources. We have to preserve the resources, what is left, and increase the lifespan of water and natural resources. And we should find out the alternatives of the renewable resources or those resources which can be regenerated, and we should use more renewable resources, and we should find out the alternatives of non-renewable resources. Otherwise, future generation needs will not be satisfied and sustainable development target will not be achieved. So these are the main causes behind this, the use of green technology. So why we need green technology? We need green technology because population is increasing and it will increase by 2050 near about 9 billion, and it will definitely falls on a burden on our finite resources or those resources which are available in a very limited quantity and that can't be regenerated. And we have to preserve those resources which are left in a very less quantity. And we should increase the lifespan of water and natural resources, and we should find out the alternatives of the resources which are available in a very limited quantity. That's why we need green technology. Next is areas of green technology. What are the main areas of green technology and where we can use this green technology? Green technology can be used in construction, in production of goods and services, in agriculture sector, in service sector. Each and every sector of the economy can use this green technology. So the area of green technology is not narrow, it's a very broader. So in a very broader aspect, we can use this green technology in each and every sector of the economy. So green construction, how construction can be clean the environment and how construction can make our environment safe or secure. First thing is energy efficient. We should use energy resources in efficiently or in an economical way without any wastages and without any inefficient way. Next is use of recycled contents. We should use those resources which can be recycled, which can be regenerated, which can be renewable. Next is environmentally sustainable materials. We should use those type of material for making constructions, for making buildings and houses which are environment friendly. Next is sustainable use of construction site. Construction site should use sustainable and environment friendly material for making their buildings and houses. Use of locally manufactured goods. Indoor environmental air quality should also be clean and fresh. And vegetative green roofs. And roofs may be green roofs. If all the roofs are vegetative and green roofs, then it will definitely helps in the achievement of sustainable development. So areas of green technology in construction, we should use energy efficient resources, we should use recycled things, we should use environmentally sustainable material, sustainable use of construction site, use of locally manufactured goods, indoor environmental air quality, and vegetative green roofs, just as seen in this figure. In this figure we are watching here, that here roofs are very green, and we can grow some vegetables and other things or other crops in this way, then construction will be called green construction. Next is how sustainable sanitation target can be achieved and how green technology helps in the achievement of sustainable sanitation. A sustainable sanitation service is generally understood to be a system that is affordable to the community and the local government over a long term period without having adverse effects on the environment. Sanitation. Sanitation facilities should be provided in each and every country. If all areas will be clean and without any dirt and without any uh, garbage, then that will be called sustainable sanitation. And sustainable sanitation service is also very necessary for securing or protecting the environment. Biogas plant is necessary for sustainable sanitation, and sustainable sanitation can be achieved with the help of use of green technology. Major types of green technologies. What are the major types or what are the major different forms of green technology? Number one is green industry. How industry can be made green? How industry can produce goods and services by using that type of technology which is not harming the environment and which is environment friendly. So green industry is that industry in which we know that global change or climate is changing, resources depletion, increasingly viable technologies for renewable resources. If we use in industrial sector that type of technology which use renewable resources and which technologies are viable and it will not deploy or degrade the environment, then it will help us in the achievement of sustainable development. Next is food supply agricultural methods and waste. In this, we should also use green technology. In agriculture sector, if we use green technology, the various methods of green technology, then environmental can be protected. And toxic in the environment, designed for reduced hazards. Green industry are known as those type of industry in which uh, in, in which technology is designed for reduction in hazards chemical and hazards gases or greenhouse gases effects. If we use these type of technology in agriculture sector, in industrial sector, and we should use renewable resources in such a way that environment will be protected, and that will be called green technology. These are the major types of green technology: global change like climate change, resource depletion. Increasingly viable technologies for renewable resources should be used for the production of goods and services. Food supply in agriculture sector, we should use those methods and technology which will create less waste and recycle the product and save the environment. And that type of technique we should use which will create less toxic products in the environment, and it is designed for reduced hazards. Next is green technology involves energy efficiency, recycling, safety, and health concerns. What green technology involves? Green technology involves energy, efficiency, recycling, safety and health concerns, renewable resources, and much more. All these things are included in green technology. These are the main important components of green technology. Green technology helps in use efficiently use of the energy resources. Green technology helps in recycling the waste material. Green technology helps in safety and health concerns also. And green technology generally use renewable resources so that the burden on non-renewable resources can be decreased and environment can be protected. So green and converging technologies are extensively used in different fields. The government are hugely investing in these technologies. In the era of climate change, the transfer of green technologies from industrialized countries to developing countries remains one of the critical areas of global environment agenda. This is the main agenda in present scenario, that we should use, either country may be developed or developing or underdeveloped, all should use green technologies which are eco-friendly technologies, environment-friendly technologies, and which will use more renewable resources and decrease the burden on non-renewable resources. Next is technology is the result of innovation and applied knowledge, that is the direct or indirect result of the human mind or human activity. Technology can be innovated, can be researched, can be developed by human beings, and human beings can be make that type of technology which adversely impact the environment, and human beings can make that type of technology which save the environment, which are eco-friendly. So technology is the result of innovation and research and applied knowledge, that is the direct or indirect result of the human mind. Technology allows people to become more efficient and to do things more intelligently that were not possible before. Technology refers to collection of techniques, skills, methods, tools, raw materials, and process used in the production of goods and services. So, what is the meaning of technology? Technology is the innovation and applied knowledge, that is the direct and indirect efforts of the human being or result of the human mind. Technology allow people to become more efficient and to do more things with intelligently and uh, in a skilled manner. Technology refers to the collection of techniques, skills, methods, tools, raw material, and processes used in the production of goods and services. And green technology should be used for securing the environmental protection. Environmental protection is very necessary because at present it's a very necessary thing for the achievement of sustainable development, and convergence technologies is taking place not only in terms of technology, it also in other platform. So how convergence of technology is helpful in the achievement of this target sustainable development. Convergence is taking place not only in terms of technology but also in other platforms. Converging technologies can be used to advance the goals of sustainable development. For example, in agriculture, the convergence of mobile and cloud computing, sensor deployment in machinery, genomics, and other technologies promises to enable quantum leaps in precision farming, which will increase agricultural production and productivity. The same convergence is also motivating commercial alliances and mergers among companies in sectors such as farming, equipment, computing, and seed production. So, convergence of technology and green technology is very necessary in each and every sector of the economy for the achievement of sustainable development. So, convergence is helpful in agriculture, convergence of mobile and cloud computing, sensor deployment in machinery, genomics, and other technologies. It will promise to enable quantum leaps in precision farming and precision farming, which will increase agriculture production and productivity. And it will also motivate, convergence is also very necessary to motivate commercial alliances and mergers among companies in sectors such as farming, equipment, computing, and seed production. This is the main thing in which convergence of technology is helpful in the achievement of this target green technology and sustainable development. Importance in our life. Green technology, why green technology is important and how it is playing very important role in our life. How we can say that? Okay, green technology is very important. So green technology's importance, we can say with these words. In fact, green technology cover all spheres of the economy like energy, industry, transport, construction, agriculture, etc. In each and every sector, we can use green technologies. Currently, they are being introduced into the whole chain of companies' activities, including in addition to production, consumption, management, and methods of organization of production. So, green technology covers all spheres of the economy. Either it may be industry, agriculture sector, transportation, service sector, construction, and it is now being introduced into the whole chain of companies' activities, including in addition of production, consumption, management, and methods of organization of production. Green technology, as a rule, can significantly reduce the consumption of resources, expand the use of byproducts. Green technology is that type of technology which reduces the consumption of non-renewable resources and expand the use of byproducts or other products which can be regenerated or which can be the alternative of those resources. Thus, modern refrigerators consume 75% less electricity than their analogs in 1975, with a 20% increase in capacity. In particular, due to improved insulation and more efficient cooling system. In air transport in developed countries uses 50 to 60% less energy per passenger than in the early 1970s. And freight transport by 10 to 25% less fuel per ton kilometer. If the consumption of fuel, consumption of energy, consumption of fossil fuel are decreasing, it is a great achievement in countries, and it will be possible by using these green technologies. So green technology play a very important role in our life, in whole world, and green technology helps in the achievement of environmental protection and sustainable development. So we should use that type of technology which decrease the use of energy resources and which create environment or which create that type of atmosphere which is environment friendly and for all living organism all can survive longer time for the longer time period. Next is role of green technologies in health and sanitation. How green technology helps in the achievement of this health and sanitation target. Green technologies are extensively being used in the field of health and sanitation. With time, the quality of air, water, and the land is deteriorating mainly due to the atmospheric or anthropogenic activities, unprecedented population growth, unplanned urbanization, rapid industrialization, and unskilled utilization of natural resources. All these are the responsible cause for degrading the environment. The health and sanitation crisis continue to affect the livelihoods of millions and hampers the socio-economic development of most of the developing countries. In fact, the economic benefits of improved access to water and sanitation not only include a reduction of health cost but also increase the productivity of people. So green technology should be used in creating more healthy atmosphere and providing good sanitation facilities to all country people. Globally, most of the negative health impacts come from air and water pollution. The air and water pollution is emitted by the coal and natural gas plants. These plants mainly use the traditional and conventional carbon intensive technologies that are linked with breathing problem, neurological damage, and heart attacks, cancer, premature death, and a host of other serious problems. Alternative green technologies are environment friendly technologies and are capable of removing pollutants from water. At the same time, these are the safeguard of health of affected population. That's why green technology play very important role in present world, in contemporary world. Wind, solar, and hydroelectric system generate electricity with no associated air pollution emission. If we use wind energy, solar energy sources, and hydroelectric system for generating energy resources, it will create no air pollution. It will not hamper the environment. So, with no associated air pollution emission. Geothermal and biomass system emit some air pollutants, though total air emissions are generally much lower than those of carbon intensive coal and natural gas based power plants. Significantly, wind energy and solar energy do not require water to operate and thus do not pollute water resources or strain supplies by competing with agriculture, drinking water, or other important water needs of the people. So, green technology helps in conserving water resources and energy resources, which are very necessary for all living organism. Either it may be present generation needs or future generation needs. Green technologies are currently applied to combat biotic. Biotic are those components which are known as living organism like animals, human beings, plants. All are living component or biotic component. And abiotic components are those which are non-living things like soil, uh, land, etc. So, raises crop and livestock productivity, improves soil fertility, and make water available. These can potentially increase the agriculture productivity. Applications of green technologies in storage, refrigeration, transport, and agro processing innovations can address critical problems related to food accessibility. Science is to produce high nutrients staple crops can combat malnutrition, improving food utilization and use. Next is to combat malnutrition, especially in developing countries, biofortification or the breeding of critical micronutrients and vitamins with staple crops has emerged as an effective approach. The most successful example of vitamin and micronutrient biofortifications is the orange fleshed sweet potato developed at the International Potato Center. Harvest Plus as a global plant breeding strategy has been developed for a variety of crops such as vitamin A enriched cassava, maize, and orange fleshed sweet potatoes, and iron and zinc fortified rice, beans, wheat, and pulse millet in over 40 countries. And all are using these green technologies for securing the environment. Now, what is education for sustainable development? It seeks to develop the knowledge, skills, perspective, and values to empower people of all ages to assume responsibilities for creating and enjoying a sustainable future. Education play very important role for the achievement of this sustainable development goal, and education for sustainable development is also a process of learning how to make decisions that consider the long-term future of the economy, ecology, and equity of all. Now we can conclude. Remaining portion we will discuss in next session of role of education in sustainable development. Now conclusion of today's session is green technology is blessing to modern industrialized world. The part and parcel of this technology can be had from green chemistry, green uh, nanotechnology, green building, green IT, and green energy. By introducing this technology, this knowledge, sustainable development, preservation of nature, conservation of human population and other living beings, elimination of wastages, reusability, innovation of existing one, feasibility, etc. are made possible in a more successful manner. Thank you.